Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Sports Talk Trio. I'm Drew Pieschalski, joined by Sawyer Goldwein and Geno DeFrank. We tried a Zoom episode last week, but that didn't go accordingly.
It was a slight failure. It was actually a pretty good episode. What could have been, we'll say. What could have been.
One day we'll probably find it. It'll be in the archives.
Yeah.
Bring it out.
We'll try over Christmas break.
Yeah.
There are some funny moments to it. Geno got kicked out about 2 times, I'd say.
that Butler guest Wi-Fi ain't it.
But besides the point, we'll get right into it. So, big games this week for college football. Ohio State played at Michigan at the Big House this past Saturday. Ohio State took a 30-24 loss. I'm going to let you sound off on that first so I won't have to say everything. But
I'm going to kind of contain myself so you can say everything because I think your rant's going to be better than mine. But I feel like this was pretty easy to see coming, at least for me. I think McCord just wasn't made for that moment. And then Ryan Day's got to figure it out. I get that Michigan's been they've obviously gotten a lot better lately. But at some point you got to find a way to make your own team better too. And they just didn't. But I think it's mostly on McCord, honestly. And my boy Jesse Mirko, who I know you're going to talk about a little bit. But I'm gonna leave it at that and let you cook a little bit.
you want to go before me?
Yeah, I'll go. Losses on Marvin Harrison Jr., in my opinion.
He shouldn't have thrown that ball.
But every Ohio State, we had the same talk the other day. If he wasn't getting most of the targets on the last drive, people would have sound off on it. I think McCord was definitely forcing it to him, but I think he could have made a play on the ball. Not catch it, but definitely break up the pass. He gave up on the play too easily. I honestly was kind of disappointed that Michigan didn't go for it on 4th and 1 on the 28. I didn't think the field goal was the move there. Ohio State could have tied it up, but I think 1 yard, with the way Michigan runs the ball, I was pretty confident that they could have got that yard. So that was the only kind of takes I have on the game. It was a good game for sure, but I thought Michigan could have not even given Ohio State a chance. I didn't think Ohio State deserved a chance at the end of the game.
Yeah, so for me, starting off with the obvious, Kyle McCord's not good, man. That dude sucks, bro. But first off, the Ohio State O-line was not good this year. It was really bad.
That takes in the part of him not playing well, though.
I know. That last play where he threw a pick, that's the O-line's fault. He had Marvin Harrison Jr. up the seam right there, wide open for a touchdown. But other than that, Kyle McCord's not good. Too reliant on Marvin Harrison Jr. You got guys like Emeka Egbuka, who's actually really good, but, he's just left out to dry there. He literally doesn't look that way. Julian Fleming, who drops a lot of passes, actually had a pretty good game on Saturday. Let's look at Jim Knowles, too. What the hell was he doing? Sending 4 every play, running Joe Woods' defense, cornerbacks 10 yards off every play. J.J. McCarthy, easy freaking runs every play. So there's Jim Knowles, Ryan Day, probably one of my least favorite parts of that game. I think you can look back at that 2021 picture of all those guys sitting on that bench. You got Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Stroud standing up, JSN, Egbuka, Harrison. Julian Fleming is a part of that picture. By the way, he was a 5-star. He was supposed to be really good.
He was the number 1 player in the country.
He'll still probably be maybe very late round pick in this year's draft.
Is he leaving for the draft?
Yeah, he's a super senior.
What? Are you sure?
Yeah, he's a super senior.
I swear to God, he's got 1 more year.
He's a 5th year, I think.
Julian Fleming.
Yeah.
I was a freshman when he was a senior in high school, I swear.
He might just be a regular senior, but he's gone.
Oh, he has 2 seasons of eligibility.
He's not going to stay.
No one listens to me. Another example. He's a PA guy. I knew that. My buddy played against him. His school got actually killed.
He's a great
Catawissa, PA, baby. Southern Columbia. They recruit. They don't get in trouble for it, though. I don't want to talk about why, but Aliquippa, though, they get in trouble for it.
Julian Fleming.
Just don't even start on that.
Julian Fleming's a great blocking receiver. That's what Brian Hartline loves to see. But it's painful to see that picture and knowing that team lost 2 games that year and only won a Rose Bowl. And then the next year, so much wasted talent. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's gone. Ryan Day, in my opinion, hasn't had he's had 1 win against Michigan. That win, I feel like was not with his players. Those players were guys that Urban Meyer recruited to come to Ohio State, not Ryan Day. So Ryan Day needs to get his shit together. Me and Sawyer were talking about it. I think 2 losses is the max. If 2 more losses is the max. If that happens, I think it might be time
to
for
Michigan or
to Michigan.
Well, I mean, if he loses to someone else, it might be time even before 2 Michigan losses. But
playing in general, by the way, people will bring up, Ryan Day is 54 and hasn't lost to another Big Ten opponent except Michigan. That's the only game that matters. I'm sorry, but
what's their schedule looking like
next year? We
Oregon.
Only Oregon.
Hard games: Oregon, Penn State, and Michigan.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the Iron Bowl. Saw the last play, 4th and goal from 30, about so.
31.
Fourth and goal from the 31.
Yeah, and just an absolute heave. You rush 2, and somehow there's single coverage in the corner on only one side of the field, and Alabama stays alive for playoff race. Winning they're in probably against Georgia. So Auburn, though, coming off the New Mexico State loss, they battled. No one really, I think, expected much of a game. Auburn came out and they should have. They had so many chances to win that game. It's really frustrating to see.
Shout out Peyton Thorne, Auburn quarterback, Michigan State transfer. He actually played great. It's their sort of read option game, but I don't know how you can rush 2 there with Milroe. I mean, I know you had the spy because he's running all over you.
Bro, he didn't even stay back in the pocket for a while.
Yeah, but you had a guy. You had 3 deep safeties, 1 left, middle, and right. The left guy who should have been over there, got caught on another guy somehow, and it was just 1-on-1. So I saw that ball go up there, and yeah, I mean, Alabama. That's
only Saban.
Yeah, I think I texted that in the group chat.
Only
as soon as it happened,
Saban,
I said
man.
only Bama will do that.
Yeah,
and
it's only Bama.
I was too busy on another game, but I did peep the ending.
You just get the feeling they're gonna find a way.
Yeah, but that was just so. And
Jalen Milroe, you are not the Heisman. Don't say give me the Heisman.
Bowl, I couldn't even. I can't even watch another game. I can't even watch another game by him play. I almost died. It was like, I don't know how you could say that after Auburn's 5-6 has like 1 SEC win. I think it was like 7-3 to Arkansas.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how you can say that. But other rivalry game. This is a game I was tuned into all day long. Preview, post game, Apple Cup, Washington State. You saw the deal. Washington game-winning kick as time expires. Kicker got the scholarship after the game, but he's got no upper lip.
That's unnecessary.
I just had to throw that out there to him. I just want to say that the officiating in this game was one of the worst I've ever seen. Washington State had, I think, 10 holdings called against them. Washington, 0. Penix sold the bag. He might have sold the Heisman while he was at it. He looked terrible last week. Roughing the passer called late in the game was the worst roughing the passer I've ever seen. As he's releasing the ball, gets hit, and the dude literally holds on to him and like gently lays him on the ground and like doesn't fall on him. So like, because his momentum was going and he held up. Roughing the passer, Cam Ward was getting hit every play. I feel like I'm talking about the Steelers. Like that's how much of a rant I'm on right now. Wazoo, way to fight. You knew we were gonna give a fight. I'm saying we.
You have way too many teams.
It was tough to see. We gave a really good game. At the end of the day, turnover kind of hurt us in the third quarter. We made a game of it though, but Washington, it's like they're holding on to this needle. Like I think every game in their conference has been almost one score. I think one of them was by 8, and that's still a 1-score game. So it's whatever.
I feel like Washington State could have just stayed. I mean, they were in the game the whole time, but at the end of the game, 2 missed opportunities. Jamori Colson, defensive back, number 29, he had almost made a diving pick with his hands on it. I'm sorry, it's a tough play, but you gotta catch that, man.
I was with my buddy, and as he dropped it, I literally said, that's why you were in JUCO.
Yeah.
He dropped it, and I said, that's why you were in JUCO.
He came from Iowa Western Community College.
Powerhouse program, JUCO program. Know all about it. But yeah, I will give it to, I don't know who Washington's OC is, but that play call on 4th down from your own 29, and like the fake dive with the shot,
Ryan Grubb.
Toss out wide. It was unbelievable. It was a really good play call.
Ryan Grubb is your man on that.
Yeah.
Looks like he likes to grub a lot too, based off his picture.
Oh yeah,
he's a fan.
He's a hoss.
He's a food fan.
What are your thoughts on the Apple Cup?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think Geno kind of hit pretty much every. I've talked to Geno about this a lot lately because he's a big Wazoo guy. But
I was hyping this up all year. I took him on. I knew. Oh my lord! Sorry. I knew they were. I thought they were gonna win. Ooh. I was a firm believer that we just saw a dunk. That was unbelievable. That was better than Judah Mintz, I think. But
that was disrespectful.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. There wasn't really. I covered most of it. It was good to see good games though on rivalry week. Like you want to cheer for close games. Not what you got.
Looks like painted the picture well there. Move on to our last college football topic. Not from games, but this past week, Mike Elko, former Duke coach, now coaching at. He'll be the new coach at Texas A&M. Takes the job at Texas A&M. And Riley Leonard rumored to go into the transfer portal, looking like he's going to be going to Notre Dame. So, Duke fan, you sound off.
I talked about this when they came out with that list of Texas A&M coaches. And it was like Dan Campbell and Mike Elko and all these other random guys. And I was like, there's no way. First of all, there's no way Dan Campbell gets it. But second of all, I really didn't think Elko was going to leave like that. He just got extended, I think, before this past season. And he's been talking all year. He's when the rumors first came out, he was like, I don't know where that came from. There's so much BS in the media. Like, don't listen to any of it. I'm happy here. I'm committed to this team. And then just like shades of the Colts leaving Baltimore, Browns leaving Cleveland. Middle of the night, flies out. Had a Zoom call with his players. He's like, I don't know yet. I got offered. We'll see. Like 3 hours later, he's on the plane to Texas, which is
not as worse as Brian Kelly is. I would say.
I think it's pretty much the same thing. I used to like Mike Elko, and now I can't, which sucks. Riley Leonard, I'm happy for him. I mean, I wish he would have stuck around, but I get it.
I'll get more attention at Notre Dame.
He deserves to go somewhere better because Duke's going to suck without Elko. But, yeah, I think Elko, there was just so many better ways to handle that. And then ending up at Texas A&M where they have this weird cult thing where they're like, I don't know, that press conference was so whack. They were like rocking back and forth and singing. It was weird.
That was funny.
But I just had to get that in there so I could rant about Elko for a second.
Everyone got their rant for college football today.
I hope Leonard doesn't go to Notre Dame. It looks like that's the most likely option. But I hate Notre Dame, so I hope he doesn't go there. But good luck to Riley Leonard wherever he goes. Terrible luck to Mike Elko.
Yeah, he'll be okay at Texas A&M. He's losing one of his best players though. Evan Stewart, wide receiver, 4 and 5 stars, going to be transferring.
Good.
Hopefully he'll be in the scarlet and gray next year, but we'll see.
I hope he goes to Texas.
Arch Manning. We're going to move on to our NFL recap. One of the best games of the week at 4:25 slate. The Eagles struggled with the Bills in the first half, but they had a second half comeback. In OT, Jalen Hurts game-winning QB draw, or a QB power, sort of, because Jason Kelsey pulled on that play. But, great win for the Eagles. What are thoughts on the Eagles as they struggled against the Bills?
I feel like it's kind of questioning to see, kind of label them as a second-half team, but it's always better to be a second-half team than a first-half team. So at the end of the day, if you're playing good in the second half, you obviously are winning games. So it's a little questioning to see, but they got a game against Niners this week. We'll be able to tell a lot. They still got Dallas, so I think it's a lot to see with the Eagles. But I kind of see, we'll see by this weekend. The winner of that game will probably be labeled as the team to beat in the NFC for sure.
I think this week's the big week for the Eagles. If they can pull off a win from Chiefs to Bills. Bills are still talented. They just having a rough year.
They've been getting unlucky.
Chiefs to Bills to Niners. I think they're able to prove themselves as one of the best, just the best team in the league. But Jalen Hurts is a dog. I think he's very. It's great to see that he's very humble as a beast. But yeah, I don't mind the Eagles.
Yeah, I weirdly don't hate the Eagles as much as I thought I would. But I know at the beginning of the year, a lot of people were kind of floating around the fraud talk with the Eagles because they played kind of a soft schedule. They started with the Patriots and Vikings and Bucks and Commanders. I mean, it was a light schedule. Everyone was there were screenshots going around like, oh, this is the Eagles' schedule for the back half of the year. And it just starts with Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills. And they ran through those. I mean, it wasn't pretty at times, but they got it done in every single game. And now without Goddard, too, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty encouraging going to Niners and then Cowboys again. Yeah. Honestly, even if they were to drop both of these, which I really don't think they will, they'd still be fine. I mean, they're still
it's a 3-loss team.
They're still looking at potentially the 1 seed.
Yeah. No, for sure. They're in the driver's seat. They'd have to drop 2 for sure.
Well, yeah, if they drop 2 and one of those is to the Niners might be in the driver's seat. But
talking about another NFC team who was, still in first in their division, but the Lions. Yeah, the real question is, is this team a year away? Whether they start to succeed or exceed the expectations a little too soon. I think people, especially Detroit fans, they're looking for any bit of success, man. So I think there's a little hype around this team too early on, and as we get in deep into the season, we're kind of seeing the flaws.
They have Aiden Hutchinson on their defense, who he's a beast, but their defense is not good. It's just not that good. I mean, they've given up 29 points to the Packers, 26 to the Bears, and 38 to the Chargers. Good offenses, but at the same time, they're just getting beat. On the one Christian Watson play the game, they had one high safety, literally one. He needs to cover the post. I mean, Kirby Joseph, I don't know what he was doing. But I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson, losing him did not help at all because he's one of the best defenders in the league. But I think if they get some more defense and maybe... I don't know if Jared Goff's the guy. No offense.
I think he fits there.
I think he fits. He's like a Jimmy G in San
obviously,
Fran.
there could be better, but...
Yeah. I'd consider him like a Jimmy G in San Fran a few years ago.
Yeah, and he's proven that he can take a team almost all the way. I mean, he made it to the Super Bowl.
I'd say that was more of Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley was a big part of that, but there's proof that he won't mess things up if you give him the right guys around him. But I do think the Lions are a year away. I'm a big believer in playoff experience. I think pretty much any team that's making the playoffs for the first time with kind of their new core probably is going to go out early as a general rule. And the Lions fit that. I think they'll be solid in the future. They should make some runs. But also, I don't know why we're judging them off the Thanksgiving game. We all knew Wayne and Gibbous, it was over for them.
Yeah.
Winless on Thanksgiving.
I believe it's actually Waxing Gibbous.
Oh, my bad. I don't know my moon phases. Apologies for the misinformation.
We're going to stay in the NFC. The worst division football this year, formerly basically the new NFC East from a few years ago. The NFC South. Who's going to win the NFC South? I was joking about this before the podcast. Screw it. Panthers are winning the NFC South. Still have a chance. Keep pounding. That's what they say. Keep pounding, guys. It's a new age in Charlotte. Frank Reich's gone, as we'll talk about soon. But give me the Panthers. I want to be different. It's just so boring, that division. And I know you're going to choose the Falcons, and you're probably going to choose the Saints. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I just think I like the Falcons the best. I think it could go anybody's way. It's kind of just a gut feeling at this point, and a little bit of biasy. So
Taylor Heineke.
He's not starting, even though Ritter didn't even look bad last week. But they're obviously all going to play each other. Some of them twice, so it's just going to come down to who can beat who.
I'm not going to lie, you are right. I was going to pick the Saints, but just because you said that, I'm going to pivot to the Bucks.
That's the worst one.
Here's the reason. Baker Mayfield with his back against the wall, top 10 quarterback.
He is a different guy when it's like
and when it matters the most. If they have a good quarterback, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rashad White, they can move the ball, they can score, especially against these other NFC South teams.
Yeah, for sure.
So Don't count the Bucks out yet.
I think the Bucks are a better pick than the Saints.
I think they might be. Now,
I don't.
I rethink it.
Yeah.
Besides just being petty, I think the Bucks are maybe a better pick because Derek Carr looks kind of bad right now.
Speaking of your team, are your playoffs hopes in trouble, or are the Browns' lives in trouble right now?
We're cooked. The day of recording, we did just hear if Dorian Thompson-Robinson can't go this week, it will be Joe Flacco starting, which is so much fun for us. QB number 4 this season should be good. But yeah, there's just no way we do anything. Obviously, we built ourselves a nice cushion, 7-3. It's pretty tough to blow that, but we've already dropped one game.
Yeah, look how good the AFC is.
AFC
it's not even
tough.
that embarrassing to drop it because there's so many teams above 500 right now.
And I know, I've seen some people oh, Joe Flacco's a vet. He's good. He'll
38.
He'll do the job. First of all, he's 38. Second of all, last time he threw a touchdown pass, week 2 of last year against the Browns.
Hey, continue the magic.
What magic?
It's over. It's over.
One might say it's Jover.
It's Jover. Season. We might sneak in as a 7 seed or something, but
I can't wait to just get demolished.
I'd be happy with that with a backup QB. Honestly, hopes are up for next year. We got Chubb coming back. Deshaun's gonna be healthy. Yeah, we'll see what happens next year. I'm excited for next year, definitely, but we're gonna stay in the AFC with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Looked like a good week for their offense this week after finally firing Matt Canada. They put up over 400 yards, but they only scored 16 points. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I think we were kind of just stalling out. We didn't. If you look at the game, I think we only punted once, and there wasn't really that many possessions. It was a lot of running the ball, milking the clock. Our probably best drive, Warren fumbled in the red zone, kind of killed us. I don't think that game was as close as it should have been, for sure. The Bengals did not look good. Not saying that we looked great, but I think it definitely looked like we won by more than 6. I think we just got to keep doing what we're doing. Defense is playing fine. As of this morning, Minka was practicing, which is a really good sign to see. Even though the guy that's been filling in for him, what's his name? I'm going to look it up, but...
Number 17.
It's not Levi Wallace, is it?
No, it's not Levi Wallace. What?
I do my best. I'm not a Steelers fan.
I think it's the number 17 guy.
Yeah, I just think...
I forgot that dude's name.
Shannon Sullivan's been filling in. Trenton Thompson was actually really performed last week.
That was my next guess.
He looked well, but he filled in finally, played good.
Add that one to the list.
Yeah, I think it's kind of been disappointing this year. Alex Highsmith, I know now teams are definitely taking notice to him more, but he's kind of been underperforming. I think we're gonna need him to step up more.
DeJuan Jones clamped him up.
I am kind of worried about Cam Hayward. His groin is definitely still bothering him. You can definitely see it, but it's good to see the offense. I think the play calling, if you watched the game, was so much better. We were using the middle of the field. Freiermuth led the whole NFL in receiving yards this week. There's definitely signs to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. We watched the game on the way back from beautiful Lorain, Ohio, but I mean, nothing much to say. They won against the backup quarterback. Good win though. It was great. It was actually good to see that I could watch an offense that actually knew what they were doing.
Yeah. It didn't hurt to watch.
It did not hurt to watch.
It looked like NFL football.
It was kind of funny though, that even though it looked normal,
they
still only scored 16 points.
I was joking. Matt Canada would have 180 yards but 23 points on the board or something. So,
you got anything about the Steelers?
No, I mean that's
the Lurs. No.
I'm over the Lurs.
All right. So, staying in the AFC, the Broncos are the hottest team in football, 5 straight. Can the Broncos keep this up? This week they play the Texans. So I actually think they're not going to win this week. Texans had a tough loss against the Jags on a missed field goal. They hit the crossbar. C.J. Stroud looks so mad that they lost that game. So I think C.J. Stroud's going to come out and just light up the Broncos defense. Pat Surtain's probably going to lock up Tank Dell. But you got Nico Collins out there, who's also a beast. So Broncos is going to end, but I feel like they're going to sneak in the playoffs still.
I think Pro or Sunday Night Football, someone on Instagram had him at like number 10 ranking. It was a little ambitious for sure. I think they can definitely keep it up. I think this week's going to kind of be hard. You're playing a Houston team that just came off a rough loss in Houston to NRG. If you look at the rest of their schedule, it's definitely possible for them to make the playoffs. I don't think you can count them out for sure. They're going to have the Chargers the next week after, which is going to be a real pivotal game.
I see 4 locks. Okay.
Lions, Patriots. They have the Chargers twice, so if they split that, take the Raiders and Patriots and Lions, I don't even know if they could lose the rest of it. They're done with the Chiefs. They're playing not so good teams. So I think they're definitely. You gotta like what you're seeing. I know Cleveland last week was probably not the best of opponents, but continuing the win streak, I think you gotta watch out.
Yeah, I think the key for them is gonna be those 2 Chargers games because I think those are gonna be so stylistically based.
Yeah.
Like if the Chargers try to play the Broncos game and grind out a win, they got no chance. But if the Broncos are trying to win a shootout against the Chargers, they got no chance. So I think those are going to be 2 really interesting games. But I don't know. I do think the Broncos drop one to the Texans. I think they can beat the Chargers.
As long as they split with them. Because
Patriots,
the rest
Raiders,
of it's Patriots.
Patriots, Raiders should both be locks.
And then
Lions is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But I do think they have a chance. I could see them being that 7th seed. I think that's where they'll end up.
Yeah. Started out way too slow. Obviously, we thought they were just like the same old Broncos. Sean Payton didn't do anything, but looks like Sean Payton's play calls are doing well right now. Mark Sanchez. He was awful on the call this week, but he was saying that Russell was doing a great job with the checks at the line. So we're gonna move on. The Bills are currently 5-6, I believe.
That is correct.
Are they in or out? I think, for me, I'm gonna say no. They're not gonna make it. I mean, so they got the Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins. I see 2 wins, maybe 1 in there, just maybe 1, or maybe 2, but definitely 1. They're gonna.
I just don't think it's possible.
Getting a win over.
But
the Patriots.
if they do, though, I think this is one of those things where the wild card and them could make the Super Bowl. Because if they're gonna have to win 5 of 6.
They're going to beat the Patriots.
And at that point,
if they're going to be so hot, then it's going to be scary. So,
I actually think I see 3 wins on here.
I see 3. I see
Bills are
Cowboys.
good enough to take out either the Cowboys or the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But the issue there is 9-8. Or at that point, no, it's 8 and wait.
They already think about this though. They already smoked the Dolphins in Buffalo, and this game's going to be in Miami.
What's their record right now?
Yeah, but they're only
6-6.
Oh, they're 6-6.
Yeah, they haven't had their bye week.
But yeah, if they go 3-2, 9-8 is probably not going to get it done in the AFC.
I think they're going to have to go 4-1. But
It's
it's also going to be hard because in Dallas, I think Dallas' home win streak right now is actually 8 games or something, maybe 10. But I have them out. They've dug themselves too much of a hole. Too many close games that got to be theirs. I just think they're out of it for sure. I think it's just an unlucky season for them.
Yeah, with that, we'll
13-game home win streak right now
13?
for the Cowboys. That's why I have them
that's not
later on.
That's not ending.
Don't be doing stuff.
Who have they been playing?
Don't be doing stuff. Don't be changing picks.
No, I'm not changing picks. I'm just looking at who they've been playing.
At home, on 13 games, you gotta be playing at least the Eagles once.
Jets, Patriots, Rams, Giants, Commanders this season.
Might have been, but 13 games
is a little inflated, but
it's basically to the beginning of last season almost at that point. Last topic, considering right now, well, the Bears, they won the other night, which who knows how. Ugly game. Josh Dobbs' luck ran out, but what did the Bears do about Fields? They're going to have 2 top 5 picks. What are they supposed to do with Fields, who's definitely, some could see better quarterback options in the draft, but I don't think he is the problem with this team.
I agree. He's in an awful situation. They just need a good coach, I think. And with that first pick, take Marvin Harrison Jr. Pair up some Buckeyes together. I mean, he's a generational talent, blue chip prospect, so they're probably not going to draft him. I feel like they're just going to make the move and just draft a quarterback, Caleb Williams probably. But I mean, I think they should stick with Fields. I honestly think he's got a lot of talent.
I think they definitely need some help on the line.
Yeah. Oh, they could. I don't think Olu Fashioner's gonna go first pick. I feel like they could get him.
But they're gonna have
they could get him at the second one.
Yeah.
I would actually trade Fields.
I don't think it's a bad move for sure.
I think you trade Fields.
You just gotta see what you can get for him. You know?
I think the controversial part of that though is if I trade Fields, I'm still taking Marv first, and then I'm taking.
But I think that you're still getting a solid quarterback with Penix.
If I end up with Penix or I don't really like Drake May as a prospect, but if I end up with one of them, I'm not upset with them and Marv, and then whatever capital you get for Fields, because somebody out there still believes in Fields. It's not going to be the value you pick.
I do,
but it's going to be something reasonable where you're going to get a decent return. So I think trade Fields, kind of reset, get your weapons, and then the next rookie that comes in isn't going to be thrown into the fire. What a transition.
All right, we're going to move over to usual. This is championship weekend in college football. We have the Power 5 games and then the Group of 5 games. We're going to start Friday night. We got 2 games for you. 23rd ranked Liberty is going to be playing New Mexico State. My pick here, I think with all of us, is Liberty. We've seen what New Mexico State, they beat an Auburn team. It's obviously not as bad as we all thought. But I like Liberty, how they've been playing this year. I think they're going to stay undefeated.
I'm going to take Liberty, too.
I will also go Liberty with zero explanation.
Yeah, there's not... Some of these games, there's not much... this is the big one. Oregon versus Washington. Pac-12 championship game. Winners for sure in. No doubt about it. Washington's been kind of cold of late. Oregon's been heating up. I think Washington continues this luck. But we all know on this show, me picking against Oregon's like guaranteed a loss. So
that's why I feel good about this pick, because I got Oregon. I didn't even realize you had Washington, but that makes me feel really good. And I think I've talked about it with both of you at some point, but Washington's got to be up there with like the luckiest teams in college football right now.
But I just still don't believe in Bo Nix. It's hard to believe.
Bo Nix is a beast.
I believe in Bo Nix big. I think Bo Nix is really good, and I think eventually Washington's not going to be able to win close anymore.
I just changed my pick to Oregon. Now that I think about it, watching them against Oregon State last week, they just dominated Oregon State. Oregon State's not even a bad defense. The Troy Franklin and Bo Nix connection is unstoppable. I don't think Jabbar Muhammad for Washington will have any chance to stop Troy Franklin. And I think Oregon kind of deserved to win that game earlier this year, so I think they're going to get their
neutral
revenge.
site.
And I originally had Washington because I was like, I'm going to do every game that would get Ohio State into the playoffs still, but I'm like, it's just not going to happen, so don't be a sore loser.
Next, speaking of Big Ten, actually here in Indianapolis this weekend, Michigan versus Iowa. It's Michigan across the board. There is zero explanation. Iowa's probably the worst 10-2 team power conference there could be. So I'd expect a slow start from Michigan, but nonetheless, it's going to probably be a blowout.
Can't wait until the East and West divisions are done in Big Ten because I cannot see Iowa face Purdue in the Big Ten championship.
But next year it wouldn't even be bad though.
Because it depends on, they could just stack the West more.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the West could be, you got all 4 of those teams.
Think about
you would literally bring over the worst teams. You'd bring over Purdue, Northwestern, and Illinois to the East, and that would make basically even it out.
Could be,
in my opinion.
I
don't think
much better to not have divisions.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I'm saying next year would be more even if they had them.
Yeah.
Now, Saturday morning, believe so. Well, not morning, but you know the deal. 12 p.m. Yeah, wait, yeah, p.m. Oklahoma State versus Texas. Big 12 championship game. Both teams. Well, Texas, they blew out Texas Tech, right? It wasn't even close. It might have been close for a while. It was a shootout. It was like 66-48 or something.
This year?
Yeah, well, their last game.
Whose?
Texas's.
No, Texas played Texas Tech.
That's what I said.
It wasn't even close, though.
I thought that it was
like
high score.
It was like 59-7 because Arch Manning got his debut. Yeah, 57-7.
Okay, it was not close. Or Oklahoma State survived BYU in overtime. If they didn't, it would have been a rematch Red River rivalry. I just don't want to see Texas in. But I'm gonna take Texas. I really hope they don't make the playoff because I just don't think they're that good of a team. But give me Texas.
I'm going to take Oklahoma State. This is going to be an Oklahoma State revenge game. About a few years ago, if you remember, in 2021, Chuba Hubbard was about an inch away from sending Oklahoma State to the playoff. They almost made it to the playoff if they got in for that touchdown.
I remember that. Yeah.
But this is their revenge game. Ollie Gordon, their Oklahoma State running back's a beast. So I'm excited. I'm actually really excited to watch this game. Hopefully we can fit it in based off what me and Sawyer have to do on Saturday. But give me the Cowboys. That's their name.
Oklahoma State already got their revenge actually last year, 41-34.
Well, no, they played Baylor in that game in 2021 in the Big 12 championship.
Why is this a revenge game against Texas?
It's just a revenge Big 12 championship game.
Okay.
They're getting revenge.
Give me Texas.
Yeah. Now moving over, SEC.
The big one.
This is a massive game here. Alabama versus Georgia. I know Georgia kind of looked questionable last week against Georgia Tech. I honestly kind of thought they were looking ahead a little much to this game against Alabama. I like Georgia. I think they've just been more consistent, and I think that's what it's going to come down to this game.
I'm actually going to take Georgia by double digits.
Even though I wouldn't mind seeing Bama, because then 2 SEC teams I think would get in.
Yeah.
So
I'll take Georgia. Last time Georgia played in Atlanta, they won, unfortunately. So just give me Georgia.
Bama always finds a way. I hope it doesn't happen, but they always find a way. Georgia has been obviously wire-to-wire number 1 this season, at least in the AP. Not the CFP was tripping for a little bit, but they're not invincible. They've looked a little weak at certain points. Credit to them for making it this far, but Saban's got some black magic. Something's gonna happen.
Moving over to the American Athletic Conference, we got SMU versus Tulane. I'm actually super confident in this SMU pick. Without a doubt, I'm taking them. I think Tulane's they've been, I don't even know how they're still ranked. They are barely winning games. Give me SMU. I am so confident in this pick.
I'm going to take Tulane. They're going back to New Year's 6.
Yeah, I mean, give me Tulane as well. I like what I saw from them last year, and that is the last time I watched Tulane football.
I watched them against Ole Miss this year.
I did not watch that game. I probably won't watch this game either, but give me Tulane.
Sleeping.
We're going to move on to some action. Miami versus Toledo. This is going to be at Ford Field. I'm going to take Toledo. Miami is a crazy pick, I'm not going to lie. Toledo has literally been dominating the MAC this year. It's actually insane. Toledo's 11-1. They're actually ranked, I think, 23rd right now.
Wait, I thought Liberty was 23rd. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Toledo's 23rd.
But Toledo is actually ranked.
Toledo is 23.
I think it's the first time a MAC team has been ranked in a long time. But, they've literally been dominating the MAC. Daquan Finn, Toledo quarterback, he's going to transfer to a bigger school next year, too. He's a beast, so Toledo, pretty easy.
Hey, Miami has some QB royalty.
Brett Gabbert. They also have the best kicker in the country.
I assume son of Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, it's his younger brother or nephew.
Nephew of Blaine Gabbert.
It's his younger brother or nephew.
That's a great QB right there. Last time, so Miami, Ohio, and Toledo did play this season. It was only a 4-point game. And it was actually a big second-half comeback from Miami. 14-0 second half for them. Couldn't quite come all the way back. Maybe Brett Gabbert kind of sucks because it looks like they put the ball in his hands and it didn't go well. So I think if Miami can not fall behind by too much early, they can hang in there and win this game.
This game's really hard for me to pick. Shout out to my best friend Justin over at Miami. He's telling me look out this weekend. They're coming away with this one. For the first time in, I believe, 17 years, they took home the victory bell against Cincinnati earlier this year.
They did beat them. I heard that was crazy.
And I believe they had Cincinnati had a 17-game winning streak. Miami's kind of been hot this year. There's so much that makes me want to pick them. I just think Toledo's actually a really good team this year, so give me Toledo. But I think this one's going to be really close.
I'm bringing it home to the Glass City.
Moving over to one of my favorite conferences, the Mountain West.
First time anyone's ever said that.
Literally, I'm a huge Mountain West supporter. You've been know it. Boise State, go blue. That field is illegal. Telling you what Mike Leach told me. Birds are diving into it head first thinking it's ponds, and they're dying. They're dying. We got to save the animal population.
But
regarding all that, give me Boise State.
I'm going to take UNLV. No reasoning behind it. Shout out Jet Elad. Went to Ohio University. Now plays at UNLV, so shout out Jet.
We're really digging deep in our bags for this reasoning. That
the
said,
Mountain West, dude.
That said, Boise State has a dog that goes and collects the tea every time there's a kickoff. I think that's pretty cute. So give me Boise State.
All right, moving over to this is the Sun Belt, correcto?
That is the Sun Belt.
App State versus Troy. I don't even know how you could take Troy. Give me App State.
Troy's getting their revenge. Last year, App State had some BS. Stupid tip drill Hail Mary. That's some BS. That sorority house is going to be going crazy this year when Troy brings it home.
You can't deny the App State magic. Give me App State again.
Troy's taking it.
All right, that takes it for our college football picks. I'm going to switch it over to a little bit of NBA talk. Kind of just going over group plays done for the in-season tournament. We're now moving on to the knockout stage. Lakers versus Suns, Kings versus Pelicans, and then Bucks versus Knicks, Pacers versus Celtics. These are all one-game series, right? Or is the finals 3?
This is all the quarterfinals. So.
I mean, like, the whole bracket. I think they're all one game. Yeah, they're all single elimination games.
Little March Madness style.
In the West, Lakers 1 seed versus the Suns. This is a really good game.
Are we picking these?
I didn't know.
I mean, it's just on here.
I was bad. What were you like,
I guess let's just pick them.
Yeah, I'll take the Lakers. Yeah, I didn't know if we were picking them either, so I was really confused.
I'm also gonna. I'll take the Lakers.
I think this tournament was made for LeBron, so
the Lakers are gonna win it all.
The Lakers got a lot of role players that I think could use that $500K. I think they're gonna be trying pretty hard actually. So give me the Lakers too. And the next matchup is Kings Pelicans.
I like the Kings.
What?
Yeah,
I mean, these two teams never make the playoffs, like the actual playoffs. And now they're competing for a trophy.
First Kings Pelicans game that's ever meant anything.
Swear to God.
Not even an exaggeration. But I guess little Boogie Cousins face off.
That group was so interesting.
Give me the Pelicans, I guess.
I agree. Give me the Pelicans. They got a lot of young guys.
Their group was so bad. Actually, it wasn't bad. It was just the good teams underperformed, like the Nuggets, Mavs, and Clippers. The Mavs, I think, have like 4 losses on the whole year. 2 of these, and same with Nuggets, but yeah, Pelicans riding out. But yeah, give me the Kings. Moving over to the East, Bucks versus Knicks. Give me, who I'm taking. I'm taking the Bucks. It's the better team.
Take the Bucks. I hate the Knicks.
I'm gonna ride with this logic of which team is younger and must want it more, and I'll take the Knicks.
Dylan Lindler needs that $500K.
Dylan Lindler will not see the floor, but I can see like Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly just going crazy for that bag.
Speaking of the hometown Pacers, kind of getting screwed with Celtics. That's such a tough matchup.
Pacers didn't lose an
Pacers are averaging about 130 in these
like
games.
They're also averaging about 125 giving up.
Yeah, no, it's nothing too crazy.
I'm gonna take the Pacers actually.
Give me the Pace show.
Dude, it is in Indianapolis.
I should have went first, dude. I wanted to take the Pacers.
Make it a Pacers sweep.
Give me the Pacers sweep. Give me the Pacers sweep.
Sir.
We're going to move on now.
So some real basketball.
Okay. We're going to move on to college basketball. A little bit of discussion. We're going to kind of go over the big tournament, Maui Invitational. Purdue, 3 top 11 wins in this one. First started with Gonzaga, then Tennessee, then Marquette. Correct?
Yes.
They looked good. Finally got some guard play on the perimeter. I kind of think they carried them shout out Swag. We're finally talking about Purdue. Hopefully he tunes into this. Swag Saturdays, you all know him, down the hall, main man on campus. Purdue unanimously, they're number one. You can't win all those games and not be ranked number one. It's good to see from them. That tournament was good in general. Most games were close. I think it was good to see Marquette looked really good. I thought they could have gave him a better game though.
I just want to say I predicted this right. Boiler up. Purdue looked great. I finally learned who Mason Gillis was, so he's pretty good. So is Zach Edey. So that's all I got to say about Purdue.
For me, the biggest takeaway from this actually wasn't Purdue. I know we have Purdue wins Maui tournament, but I don't know how Marquette got screwed out in the 2 spot in the AP poll after that. That was the brutal tournament field, and they got stuck at 3. Arizona's cool, but I feel like they should have been 2. But yeah, for Purdue, obviously crazy resume booster, winning 3 straight like that. And also shout out to Braden Smith, roommate of Adrian's. I'm trying to figure out this connection.
It's like a friend of a friend of a friend's. It's his girlfriend.
My roommate's friend's roommate's girlfriend.
Oh
wow!
Is Braden Smith, who just dropped almost a triple-double last night. Shout out to
Yeah,
him.
they were cheering for him to go back in the game. And did you see what he did?
No. Did he fake get off?
Yeah, he fake got up and
JJ Barea.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Switch over to another Feast Week tournament, the ESPN Invitational. That's where Butler was. Butler went 2-1, played FAU, lost to them, 5-point game, I believe, right? 94-89. Gave FAU their closest game in the tournament. FAU was out. Two of their rotational guys, probably I think their best player. I forget his name, and then another key. I think they're 6th man. Were they both the starters?
I think they were 2 of the 4 leading scorers. Or
Yeah.
something.
So and then wins over Penn State and Boise State, both 10-point wins. I think Butler is a dub to come out of that 2-1 for sure.
100%.
With only 3 teams are coming out of that tournament with above 500 record. You got 3-0, and then the 4, right? No.
Give the communication guys
I think
and see what happens.
it's 4 because you have the 3-0 team, then you have the team that loses the championship,
5th.
so 2-1, and then you have the team that wins the 3rd place game.
We got 5th.
I'm just saying,
Right,
there's only 4 teams that go.
The 4th place team goes 1 and 2.
Yeah, the 4th place team goes 1 and 2.
Yeah,
We're trying to talk numbers here, right? It's a fly.
Also, Pierre Brooks is a dog, and you refuse to accept it. He averaged 25 in that.
I might take it back, might not.
It's time.
I'm a believer in Telfort. I like how much we get to the line. I think it's.
Telfort's finishing is really good.
Yeah, he's tough around in the paint. Posh, my man loves the square. I love it too. There's Andre Screen. He could get his work on the defensive end a little bit, but around the hoop, he makes everything. Butler's been playing a lot of guys, obviously.
Turnbull finally got off the bench in the Boise State game.
Because there was a good matchup for him on the defensive end, as Thad Mono was saying. They didn't like the matchups in the games before in order to play him. Definitely could see some improvement for some guys. I think Finley, as a true freshman, is going to come along as getting reps. So I think there's nothing to worry about yet. You don't want to jump to conclusions. You got to give, the first-year freshman a chance. You got to give them more than 6 games in order to say anything.
Geno said that exactly right. Something we did last week on our little Zoom podcast, we did a Shohei Ohtani prediction for where he was going to sign in this offseason and his contract prediction, how much money and years he'd get. But we're just going to do it today because I think it posted. So I'll start off. It kind of looked like starting off it would be like the LA Dodgers, just the front runner. Obviously that'd be kind of obvious because he's already in LA. Just stay there, go to a competitor. But now it's looking like he might be a Chicago Cub. So I'm going to say he's going to be a Cub. Sounds really weird to say that, but it wasn't expected. But I'm going to give Ohtani For his contract prediction, I'll give him like definitely at least 10 years and around like 650 mil.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on contracts these days. I know MLB, you always gotta lock them up for as many years as you can. So I was kind of going with a sleeper team. I'm gonna just admit with what I said last week. I went with I see him going to the San Francisco Giants. I did some research. I like the guess. You know, you sometimes just gotta like what you're guessing.
My pick is feeling worse and worse as the days go by. I went with the Padres for this. I'm believing that they kind of shock people and don't trade Soto and just load up one more time because I feel like they might be a little bit more like embarrassed that they failed with this massive core.
Yeah, looking at it now, they're definitely trading Soto.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. I do feel a little better about my contract terms. I feel like I did a good job on that. I got 11 years. Last 2 of those are mutual options because Ohtani's going to be super old at that point, and it's going to be $605 million, so $55 a year.
Good predictions, obviously. There's definitely more. Could see him going to the Red Sox too. That was my sleeper team. But we're gonna move back to college basketball, do some college basketball picks.
Not to hijack this, but now that we're talking about college basketball, I gotta. Why are we down 10 to Arkansas? What's going on? I'm watching the Duke Arkansas game as we record this.
You're actually down good. 8.
Don't ever sleep on the Hogs.
Tremont Marcus out. Why is this happening?
Do not sleep on the Hogs, bro.
We should not.
We know the deal. Why is the Nike symbol on the back of his polo? All
right.
We're getting a little off topic right now.
Just if you see me looking over at something, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. At the time this is recorded, we're recording this on a Wednesday night, so tomorrow and Thursday, Texas Tech at Butler. This is a big game for Butler. We're going to pick this game, obviously. For me, I'm going to take Butler. I think this is going to be a big game for them, and they want to prove to like everyone that they're definitely a better team than they were the past few years. So give me the Bulldogs. Kind of easy. Not kind of easy, actually. Close game.
I think, spread came out today and everything. We opened as 1-point favorites against Texas Tech.
Pretty much the home advantage.
Yeah, I think this is really going to be a back-and-forth game. As you said, I have Butler winning this one, too. I think it's kind of our message coming out party to the Big East that we're not going to push over this year, and I think we're going to be a top 6 team at the end of it.
Yeah, this should be the statement game for Butler. Obviously, they played a Power 5 team in Penn State down in Florida, but Penn State's a little different than a Big 12 team, especially after Penn State lost their coach. But Big 12 is faster, it's more physical. It's just more legit basketball, if we're being honest, compared to Penn State. So this should definitely be the toughest test to date besides Michigan State.
And FAU.
I would argue maybe.
You got to look at Texas Tech.
I'm not an FAU guy, but
Texas Tech hasn't really had a convincing win. They did beat Michigan by 16. Lost to Nova by 16.
They beat Northern Illinois only by 2. Northern Iowa by 2.
Northern Iowa is actually a really good team out of the Missouri Valley. I will stand on that. I will not let you diss on that.
They looked good at
They almost beat
in Atlantis.
They might be 1-5 right now.
They looked good in Atlanta,
but they gave UNC a really good first half,
and
they just got.
They gave someone else a run too.
They killed Stanford. That's their only win.
There was another team that they almost beat, or they looked
Texas
good
Tech.
Yeah,
It was a 2-point game. So don't trip with me about UNI. You'll see them in the tournament at the end of the year, and then you'll come back and you'll start being like, yeah, Geno's right. But
point is, Butler sweep.
Yeah, Butler sweep.
Clean sweep.
We got another sweep coming up. UConn and Kansas.
This is a crazy
sweep.
I'm gonna take UConn. Yeah.
This is Friday night. You'll see me on my futon watching this one. But I got UConn. I think it's really going to be a good game. I think Clingan is going to be able to kind of not limit Hunter Dickinson, but he's going to give him a way better defensive matchup than most people are giving him. So I like UConn, and I think they're just a more consistent team. This game is in Lawrence, which kind of bothers me. But I think UConn's a legit team. I think they're the better team, and I think Dan Hurley's going to have them ready for the environment. I think they're going to come out with the win.
This is the perfect opportunity for me to pull the old third guy switch to prevent the sweep, especially since it is at Kansas. That scares me a lot. But I just have a feeling I don't think that UConn streak is going anywhere just yet. That non-conference double-digit scoreline win streak. It's a wild streak, and I think it's gonna stay. I don't. This is maybe game of the year.
Yeah.
It's impossible to pick, honestly, but give me UConn in a crazy game. And then we'll move on to Gonzaga and USC. This game is in Las Vegas. USC did just fall out of the rankings, but I think this is still...
Go Hawks,
What's going
baby.
on?
Up 13.
They got
What are you
nine
doing?
minutes to come back.
Is Ryan Young in the game?
Call timeout, man. Call timeout.
That court will be filled with white after this game.
It's a
White
whiteout,
shirts,
to be
white
clear.
shirts, white shirts, white shirts, white shirts, white shirts.
Anyway, while I'm wallow about that, Gonzaga, USC... I was really tempted by USC in this one, but I think Gonzaga's experience is going to do them well for this. Give me Gonzaga.
Taking USC. Something crazy is going to happen. Bronny James will make his debut, and he's going to drop like 20. So give me USC.
Is Bronny coming back?
No,
I don't know.
He's just looking for views on that one. Give me Gonzaga. I just think they're the better team in this one. Experience comes down to it. They win this one. We're going to move over to a really good non-conference game as well. FAU versus Illinois. This game's at the Garden. I haven't really been impressed with Illinois how they started the year too far. Not really anything to keep an eye on. I think FAU's a talented team. I think that game against Bryant was kind of just a fluke. I think we saw the way they dominated Texas A&M and Virginia Tech in the championship game, I believe, in that tournament. I just think FAU rolls in this one. If it was at Illinois, though, I think I'd have a different opinion. But give me FAU by about like 5.
I'm going to take FAU. That Russian guy's going to dominate.
I don't know why you're not impressed by Illinois.
I'm not.
What have they done wrong this season? So far, they have one loss, which is by 7 to Marquette, which I think is fair. And then other than a game against an Oakland team that's been giving everybody trouble, they've won by 20 every time.
I just, it's first real game. Well, not first real game, but
they played Marquette. They got the experience.
They played
of
them
Marquette.
at home.
It's fine. It doesn't
They-
matter. This is neutral site. It's not like it's at FAU. Give me Illinois.
Wait a second. Oh, they have a game before that. They
I
actually
feel
have
good.
actually have a conference game before that.
I
They have a
feel
conference game 3
very
days before
good.
that.
I feel very good about Illinois in this game.
I don't know. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm seeing they're playing at Rutgers on Saturday, which means they'll barely have to travel to the Garden. But I like FAU. I watched them. I'm confident in this pick, so I'm staying with it.
Why are we not guarding that? He's 10 feet from the
All
basket.
right, now to everybody who loves Duke.
30 minutes away, by the way.
Clog your ears.
Piscataway.
UConn versus UNC. This game's also at the Garden. I just think UConn has too much. I don't think UNC is that good of a team. Baycott's in his 10th year, and I just don't think UNC is that good. There's not that much.
Roll heels. Big win against Tennessee today. Give me a UNC upset at the Garden.
RJ Davis is not him.
RJ Davis is not him. And Baycott's
He does
gonna
not
get
get-
dominated by Klingon.
He only gets things to fall at UNC. Literally, I saw him make like 3 bank threes today. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think this should be a pretty easy UConn win.
Yeah, I
honestly, like when
This
I
is
look
way
at it too,
like, how would you pick UNC but not Kansas?
yeah. When I look at it,
Especially
too,
when it's
like,
at Kansas and this is neutral site.
It's like if UConn beats Kansas, then it's like there's no way they lose to UNC. But if they lose
Yeah.
to Kansas, then it's an easy bounce back.
Yeah,
I don't,
no, for sure.
I don't see a way UNC wins this. But I am a hater.
Who had the highest record a few weeks ago?
Who has the highest
He
record
was staring
overall?
at the screen to find something to say.
These two are 50% each. I'm 70%.
Yeah, I'm kind of rough right now. I ain't gonna lie, but
Yeah, if you're on par with Drew, that's bad news.
Oh shoot, Texas at Marquette. I'm going with the home team. I'm taking Marquette.
I'm going to take Marquette, too.
I was just gassing up Marquette. I do think they should be the number 2 team in the country right now. But I've also been on Texas all season. I just really love what Texas has on their roster. I think they have really solid depth, great starting lineup, great size. I think if there's a team that can get it done against Marquette, especially early in the season, it could be Texas.
Now we're going to move on to our upset pick coming up. I'm going to take Oklahoma State over Creighton. No reasoning. Just no reasoning. They're going to shut down Ryan Cockbrenner.
For me, I'm going to go ahead and take kind of a controversial pick, especially wearing this sweatshirt. but I'm going to go with Xavier against Houston, which is obviously a little sketchy considering Xavier did just lose to that Oakland team I was talking about. But I think Houston's due for a loss. I don't know what it is about them. They've looked good this season. I can't really cherry pick anything to hate on them for. I guess maybe they should beat Dayton by more than 14, but that's kind of it. But I think Xavier, huge bounce back game. This is at the Cintas Center, home stadium for Xavier. So I'm going to take a surprise Xavier win.
All right, so I totally forgot this was happening. So I just been kind of scrambling, but I found a pick I really like. I like Wisconsin at home against Marquette. I think it's going to give Marquette 2 losses and then an excuse to not lose against Texas. So give me Wisconsin over Marquette. Huge rivalry game. The game is in Madison, so give me Wisconsin.
So that will do it for the college basketball segment picks of the show. So we're going to move into our NFL picks this week. Last week, for our records, Geno went 11-5, I went 12-4, and Sawyer went 9-7. And records in total, Geno's 55-32, Sawyer's 52-35, and I'm 56-31. So
the Bears pick was so lucky.
The Bears pick was not lucky. I just knew that was going to happen.
Alrighty.
Besides the point, Thursday night game this week is Seahawks at Cowboys. Cowboys winning streak is going to continue. I'm sorry, I don't think Geno Smith's the guy. So I'm not. Dak Prescott has. Oh my God, Dak Prescott has been on fire recently. So he's going to go off against that Seahawks defense.
We seen what I said earlier. Cowboys at home. Seahawks team struggling right now, barely staying above water, doggy pedaling like me in the water. Give me the Cowboys.
The Cowboys' schedule has been crazy soft so far. The only good teams they've played, they have looked terrible.
Yeah.
The Seahawks are not exactly a great team, but I think they can get it done. Also, I have a weird feeling. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 75-plus yards.
He's been coming along, too.
Deron Bland is going to try and jump a route, and Smith and Jigba is going to get loose. That's my prediction for this game.
It's fair. Another crazy pick by Sawyer coming up. Cardinals at Steelers.
There's just so much hate in this room.
2 weeks in a row.
Right
2 weeks in a row.
So
I'm
much
going
hate.
with the Steelers 2 weeks in a row.
See where you get you, man. It gets you in first place. That's what happens when you take the lures, man.
I took the Steelers last week.
Give me the lures.
I don't believe anymore.
Game at home.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's going to be trying to run around everywhere. TJ Watt's going to make him kind of regret being a scrambler. So
Kyler Murray's going to do his little midget run all over the Steelers defense.
Oh, stop.
I like this. I feel good about this. NFC West is going to go crazy this week.
That's so random. Not playing. Moving over. Chargers at Patriots. Chargers, you gotta win this one. If not, then there's so much frustration if you were a fan of them to be. So give me the Chargers. I think there's no excuse.
I'm going to take the Chargers, too. This game better be easy Chargers win, or else it's going to be...
I swear.
I want to change it so bad.
Don't change it.
I'm changing it. Give me the Patriots.
Bro, there's a reason you're in last. You're trying to catch up.
This is the end for Brandon Staley. When Josh McDaniels got fired, I was on the podcast. We recorded it the day before he got fired. I said this week's storyline, Josh McDaniels gets fired. And I was right.
I think they could win and still fire him.
This week's storyline, Brandon Staley gets fired after losing to a terrible Patriots team.
Belichick knows the deal, bro. He knows what he's doing.
Trust
he's tanking.
the process.
All right, this is another one. AFC South, another one where me and Drew are using common sense. Colts at Titans. Give me the Colts.
Colts easily.
I'm just getting hated on.
I just want to know the reason for the Titans.
We're going to come back next week, and it's going to go crazy. The Colts are not good.
Hogs up 14.
The Colts are they might not be good, but they're in the playoffs right now, and the Titans are an easy.
The Browns are in the playoffs right now.
Yeah. They have a great defense. The Colts have nothing going for them except they have a good running back.
You just said it yourself. The Colts have nothing going for them.
They're going to win, though.
They don't even have the good running back anymore. JT's out.
Zach Moss.
Zach Moss is good, but he's not JT. Give me the Titans. Will Levis is going to flame them.
Titans do have a home winning streak. Have been 4-0 at home this year.
Exactly.
Are you for real? That's got to be their only wins.
Yeah. It is.
I think it is.
Bro, might change the pick.
No.
All of a sudden, the Titans pick ain't so bad.
Too late. Broncos at Texans. I'm going to take the Texans. Big game from C.J. Stroud. I'm looking about.
Bro, you're tripping. They do not have a winning streak at home.
I'm saying they're 4-0 at home in total this year.
They lost to the Ravens at home.
Oh.
Hold on. Wait.
False facts.
So someone on Twitter was lying.
Go to me.
No, I think you got it. They're 4-1 at home this year.
Go to me if you want the real facts.
Versus they've lost every game away.
Versus 0-5, 0-6.
Yeah, something like
They're like
that.
0-5 on the road.
Roll Colts. Moving over, Broncos at Texans.
See, I'll take the Texans. CJ Stroud's throwing like 4 touchdowns.
CJ Stroud's not throwing 4 touchdowns. That Broncos defense is going to make the game too sloppy for that, but I do have the Texans in this one. Finally, someone agrees with me on a pick. Gino's scheming over there.
What are you doing? Nope, he's still eating his.
Give me the Broncos. You know I'm not switching up on my boys. I've been hot on them ever since before they were hot. It's ever since I called them beating the Chiefs.
That's fair.
I literally led their comeback story for this year. I led the comeback story. Give me the Broncos. Moving over to Lions at Saints. I think it's a clean sweep. I think Lions are going to bounce back. Saints, I just don't think they have enough to keep up.
I think Lions are going to win this one. I think it's going to be closer than people expect.
I admit, close game.
Close game, but Lions are going to pull it out.
I actually don't think this is going to be close. I think it's Lions by 15.
All right, bro, just disagree. I'm joking.
Falcons
at Jets. This is actually a toss-up game, but I just
God.
said, I think the Falcons are going to win the NFC South, so give me the Falcons.
Sawyer has some of the 3 worst picks in a row going from Falcons
Dude,
Jets.
I'm liking the
about
Commanders low-key.
Thank you. Actually, no, it always goes wrong when you say that. I kind of want to switch that now.
I'm going to take the Falcons. I mean, what? Falcons. I just don't know.
I don't think this is not the worst.
This is not the worst.
Jets. That's all we need. Tim Boyle to the promised land.
You go first on this next
All
one,
right.
so you can't change.
I wasn't going to change anyway.
Dolphins
All right,
at Commanders.
Give me the Commanders.
Why?
Dolphins have been struggling with good teams. They've been wiping out the bad ones. I think now is the time where that changes. They fall to a bad team. The fraud conversations continue. Big week for the Commanders.
I'm going to take the Dolphins. There's literally no one on the Commanders that can cover Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. It's going to be like...
Don't disrespect Emmanuel Forbes.
I'm sorry, you just can't do it. He's also...
Nobody can cover Tyreek one-on-one, but Emmanuel Forbes is good.
He's good, but he's not covering him. It's just not possible.
Well,
Commanders on a 3-game losing streak. I'm looking all-time right now. Sawyer has never predicted the Commanders to actually win.
This is my moment.
Like when it's right. Like even when they played the Patriots, you said Pats.
This is the time.
You're saying it's the time. It's not the time. Dolphins sadly win this one, even though I don't think the Dolphins are for real. But give me the Dolphins. Common sense. Come on now. Panthers at Bucks. You have to change this one.
Why?
You literally said the Bucks are winning.
Bro, they can lose like 2 more games and still win the division.
All right,
This
it's
division
Bucks.
is so trash.
It's Bucks all the way.
It's
on
Buccaneers.
This one. It's at home.
Buccaneers have way too good of a team to lose to the Panthers.
I'm perfect picking Panthers games this year. That's all.
It has one win.
And I called it against the Texans.
I could have
They're
taken them
good.
any time, and I would have won.
You literally, bro, you could have taken them to win any time and you would have lost. I took them to win
if
the
I
one
took
game
them
they
every
won.
time, they would have won.
Bro, y'all are underrating how impressive it is to call the one win of a 1-10 team. That's not easy. This is the second one.
That's the second one. All right. 49ers at Eagles. Got some undercase writing in this one. I hate that. 49ers at Eagles. I think the second half magic continues. I got some ugly weather going on in Philly. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's supposed to rain here Friday. I don't know how weather moves, but I got a feeling it's gonna be some bad weather out there. Give me the Eagles. I think Purdy kind of gets knocked around a little bit.
I'll take the Niners. The Niners they played insane against the Seahawks on Thursday night. The play calls were crazy. I honestly think Niners, they might win by... I think the Niners win by 10. Revenge game.
I think this might actually be my game of the year pick. If I had to choose one right now, I think this is going to be a great game. Give me the Niners to get a little revenge.
We're going to move on to Browns at Rams. Same slot as Niners-Eagles. Might actually have to watch Niners-Eagles instead of this game, instead of Browns-Rams, even as a Browns fan, which will suck.
We got more than one screen. We'll be all right.
Yeah. I originally had the Browns, but now that Joe Flacco might start, I'm going to take the Rams. Rams are getting hot, too.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams. I think they're kind of hot. I like Stafford in this one. Just at the end, I don't think the Browns' offense can score.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyron Williams was running all over the Cardinals last week. I get that the Browns' defense is better than the Cardinals, but we're not going to be able to keep up, even if they score like 15 points. It's going to be bad. That said, we're going to move on to Chiefs-Packers. I'll let Drew go first.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I mean...
You want to speak up.
I'm going to take
seem so confident.
I'm going to take the Chiefs pretty easily. They coming off a loss to the Eagles. Yeah. No. Wait.
Nah.
They did something last week, probably.
What happened to the
They won against the Raiders, but they looked bad in the first half.
Yeah, they looked bad in the first half. Chiefs easy. Actually, not easy. I think this game could be a little close. I can just see the Chiefs getting bailed out at this end of this game off some BS call.
That makes sense.
I'm a believer in the Sawyer pick right here. This one's at Lambeau. I think I had this one first. Now everyone wants to switch up when I get it.
Okay.
But
who picked the Packers to make the playoffs?
I'm not talking about that right now, but I'm picking the Packers. I like this one. Give me the Packers at Lambeau.
I have the Packers in the playoffs. I had that 3 weeks ago. I still have it now. The road continues. Also, Jordan Love said he doesn't listen to Taylor Swift. That's all I need to hear. Packers in 4.
And our final game that we're going to be picking the Monday.
Right, what are you doing?
Let me get to my part. Go. I'm saving me for the end. Save me for the end.
Did you not pick the Did you not say the Packers yet?
No.
Oh.
I already said the Packers.
Okay. So final pick: Bengals at Jags. I actually don't mind Geno's pick here.
Thank you.
I feel like it's gonna be a lot closer. Trevor Lawrence is so overrated. He's actually not good. I'm gonna take the Jags still. But I think it's actually possible that the Bengals can win this game.
The Jags could play like some JV level football.
Okay, that's way too far.
They would still beat Jake Browning Bengals.
I thought Jake Browning didn't even look that bad last week. If
He's
you
Jake
ask
Browning.
Me. Don't hate. He should be on the Browns with his last name.
He doesn't have an O line.
My story of this
He doesn't have an arm either.
My story of this one. This is just survival of the fittest. We're in the jungle here. Bengals, Jaguars, man. It's cat on cat. It's not dog on dog. I think at the end of the day, the Bengal has more of the dog in him than the Jag. Than the Jaguar. Believe it once, see it twice.
I disagree with your pick now.
I got Bengals winning on an Evan McPherson field goal. As Drew said, I don't think Lawrence is really that good. I got Bengals with a silent win right here. Silent one.
It's not going to be silent. It's on prime time.
Show the claw. Show the claw.
It's literally on prime time. This won't be a silent win.
I'm going 13-0.
This game is not on Prime Video. Just to let everybody know, it is not on Prime Video.
It's going to be on ESPN.
You were just saying Prime so much. I didn't want to confuse our audience.
Bro, I'm just saying, right, first of all, I'm going 13-0. Second of all, if there's any pick that's hitting, Panthers are winning 100%.
Bro.
Guaranteed.
The Commanders one, I wanted to so bad because it's just the Commanders. I got it, but it's the Seahawks one. I think might honestly be the worst. But
I'm not gonna lie. I feel the least confident about the Seahawks one.
See?
I'll accept a little flack for that.
See,
yeah, but
when you go to the jungle, take a Bengal with you rather than a Jaguar. Trust.
After that terrible monologue by Geno, thank you for watching episode 7 of Sports Talk Trio. This has done it, and thank you.